Hey guys, in this video, I want to give you some of the best off-label uses for one of the most common ceramic coatings and easy to get coatings on the market. Now, I'm sure if you follow this channel, you've seen the Avalon King ceramic coating. The reason why I want to show this to you as a professional detailer is it's something that has become a staple for me no matter where I go, because it actually not only allows me to perfect areas of vehicles that most detailers never even touch, but it also allows me to fix mistakes, and I'll explain that in just a second. Now, a big thanks to Avalon King for sponsoring this particular video. For those of you who don't know, there is a Black Friday sale from Avalon King going on right now. If you're interested in getting the details for that and getting your hands on either their ceramic coating or even their spray ceramic coating, make sure to go below in the YouTube description box and check out the details. Now guys, let's go ahead and jump right in. The first place that I'm going to be applying the ceramic coating is going to be the black trim that sits in front of the side view mirror, as well as the black trim that surrounds the window itself, as well as the smooth black trim that sits below the side view mirror. For most of you guys as detailers, you'll see this area and you can do basically one of two things. Either this area is on an older vehicle and it's been damaged by the sun and it's really not good looking and you just kind of leave it like it is because it's damaged and you can't do anything about it, or it's a newer vehicle and it's in good condition and you don't really have to do anything with it, or you can just use a simple spray wax or spray sealant like Meguiar's X Wax on top of it and move on with your life. The reason why I like to have the Avalon King ceramic coating for this particular type of material in this particular place is because this is a coating that can be liberally applied to that area, sit for really as long as I need it to sit, and be removed. In the removal process, it levels, it darkens the area to create a uniform appearance, and obviously now I've got ceramic protection on that area as well. Many retail grade ceramic coatings can only be applied to paint or only be applied to black trim. They don't necessarily cross over. The ones that do cross over often are easier to apply to paint and they streak a little bit on black trim. This is the best ceramic coating I have found for the uses I'm talking about in this particular video because it doesn't streak. That's why I keep it with me basically at all times. I don't put this on the paint often, but it's these areas that I like to coat because I don't have to be super precise in what I'm doing. I can kind of slap it on and pull it off. So as a professional, that's how I like to use it. If you are a hobbyist, this is an amazing way to get into ceramic coatings with basically no fear of hurting something because it's so easy to apply and so easy to take off of paint. Now the next area I want to talk about is the black trim that surrounds really any of the windows. These kind of black trim pillars are super smooth and they come in basically two types. You either have a more porous type or you have a smoother type like this. And despite which type of black trim this is, it always gets damaged by the sun and it's always the first thing to look really terrible. When a customer comes out, looks at their finished detailed vehicle, they're like, wait a second, did you miss this area? And it's always just damage that you just didn't fix. And of course, there's no clear way to create a uniform appearance over damage. When I'm dealing with black trim like this, even when it is damaged, I can slap this coating on top of it, and while no, it doesn't restore it permanently, it does restore it for a certain period of time, and it creates, again, a uniform appearance on a fully detailed vehicle. If you are a professional detailer, you know that you can perfectly detail a vehicle, but then you've got these subpar damaged pieces like this that stand out pretty obviously, even to the untrained eye, that bring down the overall visual quality of a detail after you're finished. So you spent 5 hours perfecting it, and then you got these damaged pieces on the outside. This is a perfect way to slap something on top that creates a uniform appearance, actually provides protection, and will inhibit further damage, and again, ties the whole thing together. Now, this next area, before we actually get to the interior applications, is one of the more helpful areas, I think, if you are a professional auto detailer. That slim rubber piece underneath the window, where the window actually detracts into the door, is an area that often gets super damaged because it never gets cleaned and it's always sitting in the direct sun when the car is outside. When's the last time you took a detail brush or a toothbrush or whatever to that tiny little area, an air compressor, blew it out and made sure that it was all clean? Most detailers don't do that, so this rubber piece actually over time gets so damaged that even the adhesive that is used to keep it there becomes kind of weak, and that rubber piece starts to kind of peel off and it just looks terrible. Well, again, this is an area where I can take the Avalon King ceramic coating and I can wrap a small application suede cloth around that card, pour liberally the product onto the suede applicator so that I'm kind of drenching that area so I don't have to be super precise, drag that card through the entire area, and now I've got a ceramic coating on that whole area that now looks totally uniform after it's been cleaned. The thing that I want to highlight here is on an area like this product levels so easily when you remove it that you don't necessarily have to get in there like a crazy person and remove 100% of it. It's okay for me to liberally apply this to the pad, drag it through that area, and then stuff my towel down into those crevices and pull out as much as I can, then move on with my life. If there is some excess left over, it's not going to hurt anything, certainly not going to hurt the window, and there's not going to be any streaking that's visible to the eye. So that's why a product like this makes sense for these areas. Not only does it keep it from drying out and looking like it's peeling away and terrible, but again, it's easy to apply the product and move on without having to spend 10 minutes in the removal process in these really hard to reach areas. Now, a quick tool that I want to highlight to you guys real fast is the Capri Air Blow gun. This is what I've been using in this video. I'm going to do a totally separate video on this, but you guys might have been able to see that when I was cleaning out these really hard to reach areas, I was actually pointing the gun and touching it on the window, touching it onto the rubber. And you might say, hey, you're banging the tip of this against the area that you're working on. This has actually got a rubber silicone tip on it. It's one of the reasons why I love this for detailers. It's not a detailing tool, but it's something I've adopted into my detailing world. Now, one of the most interesting off-label uses that I've developed for this product over the years is the interior of a vehicle, particularly that porous black hard plastic, or even tan plastic, gray plastic, really doesn't matter what the color is, because this particular product, like I've said in the other areas, can be applied, it can sit, and it can come off really, really easily. So it does not streak interior surfaces either, assuming we're putting it on that classic Honda, Toyota, black porous hard material, or even leather materials. Now, in my application of putting this on an interior surface like this, I'm not using that block applicator. I'm just using the suede applicator that I've been using because it's easy enough to wrap around my hand or to wrap around my gloves and apply it as I need to. I don't need to do a crosshatch pattern. I'm just trying to get it on all of the surfaces. Now, I've just applied it to the left half here so that you guys can see what it looks like before and after when it has not yet been taken off, but you can see how it darkens up the appearance, and of course it's going to lay a layer of ceramic protection on the interior. Now, as I buff it off, I want to bring you guys back in and show you that it dries to a really matte finish. And again, I actually took the camera in to show you the before and after here, so the product did sit on the black porous plastic for probably 60 seconds to a minute and a half, and it still came off just as easily. It's about 45 degrees outside, lower humidity, but even in other environments, it really responds the same way. There is a bit of a darker appearance now on that left side, and you can tell when it's sitting next to the right side that has not had the ceramic applied to it, but it dries to just enough of a matte finish where it's not overly shiny, overly glossy, but it is a much longer term protection than those really glossy, oily finishes. And this is yet another reason why this is a really great consumer grade or hobbyist product, because a hobbyist can buy this product and essentially protect the entire exterior as well as most of the interior. Now, I want to move on to this last section here of the interior. We're still going to be applying this to the black porous plastic here, but the area that I want you guys to notice is that rubber trim, the rubber seal that surrounds the door. This is of course in basically all of the door jambs with any door, but after I have blown it out, cleaned it, and applied the product, I want you guys to see what this looks like. Obviously, just like we saw with the driver's side door, the black porous trim is going to be darker in appearance. It's going to be a little bit shinier when we wipe it off, but again, it's going to be matte enough. But I want you guys to see the black seal. That seal, after a door jamb is cleaned, often continues to look dirty because it's one of those areas that kind of takes a beating when the door opens and when the door closed. It's kind of smashed, and there's creases in the seal where the door fits like it's supposed to. Well, those areas kind of get worn and pulled in the rubber, so it almost looks like there is dirt still left over. This is one of those areas where you can kind of make damaged areas look as if they're uniform or not damaged. I can apply this product really liberally to make sure I get it on all of those areas, in all of the creases, very briefly wipe it off, and it looks really, really uniform. You guys can see this after result. It looks so much better than that left side black porous trim or that left side seal that has not had anything applied to it. Now, I want to share with you guys a little bit of a bonus tip here. Without going into great detail, there are certain cleaners that are more alkaline, like Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, that can sometimes leave a white chalky residue on certain areas within the car, particularly black plastic porous areas that are kind of harder or unkept up with. When you get that white chalky appearance, a lot of detailers don't know what to do. Often, if the color of the material that gets that white chalky appearance on it is black, something like this coating can go on top of it and completely mask it, giving it time to go away on its own. That is yet another area where this can actually help fix damage from some of even the cleaners that you might be using if you happen to find yourself in a situation like that. Now guys, with all of that being said, if you want to check out any of these products or get a discount code access to this or their spray ceramic coating that I've used in past videos, make sure to go below in the YouTube description box and check out all of the details through that Black Friday sale. And of course, all of the tools like the Capri Blow air gun here that I use will be linked up in the YouTube description box below. I'm looking forward to making some videos about this in the future. And as always guys, if you got some value from this video as a hobbyist or a pro detailer, hit the like button. button so that I know, because the more thumbs up I can see on this video, the more I can see that this type of content is actually helping you in your detailing world. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I will see you guys in the next video.